That's right, guys. The fan favorite, Terra from Teen Titans, is coming to Young Justice Outsiders Season 3. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a thumbs up as well as comment below your thoughts on any other topics you'd like me to cover in the future, as that greatly helps the channel. Also, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell because, as we all know, YouTube's system's a little bit funky these days when it comes to notifications. Lastly, make sure to check the description below for my social media. So yes, Terra, that fan favorite character, the one that was showcased in the animated Teen Titans series that everyone so fondly loves and admires, the one with like, ooh, Beast Boy and Terra, they're so great. Or some people say, what a terrible couple. And people in general just like the character. We've had her in the animated film, Judas Contract. Of course, we've had her in the comics. That's where she came from. Now she's going to be in Young Justice Outsiders, which actually was news to me. People pointed this out in the trailer when we had the prince and the princess was kidnapped. I was like, okay, who are these characters? Why should I care? The prince was actually Geoforce and the princess is Terra, which is crazy. Like, I did not really see that coming, being my lack of knowledge, I suppose. So, this is going to be a different Terra than what we've seen before. Now, of course, in the comics, this is her origin, but what we always see is the Terra that's refined later that works with Deathstroke, right? Deathstroke is going to be in this season as well, so I'm kind of curious to see where this all goes, right? So, first off, Terra being in this season could give Beast Boy something else to do. Beast Boy barely had anything to do in the last season of Young Justice. Let's be real, okay? Beast Boy, he was cool, he was kind of there, but like, did he really do much of anything? Yeah, not really. Unfortunately, no. Beast Boy really just didn't have much of a purpose. Now that Terra is going to be in the story, that gives him something else to do, which is great. Now, of course, like I said, this is going to be a different version of Terra. Now, we could get to that point where she does become the Judas of the team or whatever, but not initially. She's going to be just a kidnapped person that's for the metahuman trafficking, and she's going to probably develop her powers in the season. That doesn't mean necessarily that she's going to be superpowered in this season, but I have a feeling she's going to start developing the powers, right? Now, Deathstroke is in this season. We saw him in the trailer. So, could it be possible that they fail to get Terra, and that instead of the team saving her, Deathstroke saves her? I think that's a very high possibility, because that would then lead into Terra being a bad guy, who then maybe comes back. But I think simply the fact that we're getting a different version of Terra is very exciting, and I'm interested to see what they do with that. She could be played completely differently. This could also be a sign that maybe we are getting more of that Teen Titans element being thrown into Young Justice. This could be possibly why Teen Titans never came back, because maybe they wanted to do it in Young Justice, or maybe we can have both simultaneously. I don't know. I'm still hoping for Starfire, Raven, and Cyborg to make it in the series at some point. I think that'd be awesome. But then people would say, well, now it's just the Teen Titans, right? I don't know. I don't really care. As long as they're in something that's good, awesome, right? Beast Boy, I definitely feel like could play a bigger role because of Terra being in the season. It's really hard to tell, like, because they do show this opening mission of them saving the kids. This could be episode 1. I mean, it could be that she's kidnapped and then they go and they save her, or they fail, possibly, and then Deathstroke pops in and he's like, nope, I'm getting her instead. And maybe they have a fight with Deathstroke and they lose, or maybe they save her and then she later comes to Deathstroke. It's very possible that they could change her story up quite a bit. So I'm curious to see how exactly that goes. Also, the new Deathstroke look in this season looks awesome, by the way, although I think it is reused from an animated film. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do think it's reused. But regardless, it definitely looks better than this like giant ponytail thing that he had in season 2. Like, what? How is your hair even that long? What? It was weird. It was weird. But Deathstroke's an awesome character. More Deathstroke, the better. To do the whole Terra betrayal thing in the middle of this season, though, considering we're going against freaking Darkseid and Vandal Savage, like, I feel like they're going to save that for season 4. I feel like they would save that because unless Deathstroke is working, I mean, I guess he does work with the light. So I guess they could do the whole thing where Deathstroke works with the light and then he uses Terra as like his pawn and then she screws over the team and that makes him weaker. I guess they could do that, right? Because in the animated Judas Contract film, in case you guys haven't seen it, Deathstroke works with Brother Blood, which is not how it is in the comics. In the comics, it's just Deathstroke. It's just Deathstroke. But in other animated versions, they change it. So I think changing the story is good because, honestly, this will be the third time we've seen Terra animated. Unless you count Teen Titans Go, which I don't really count that. It's not really like a serious take. But I think it's interesting. I feel like they could definitely do a lot with this character who, I mean, you know, it's like we know she's going to betray him because it's Terra. Of course, they could also do a 180 and say, oh no, Terra's actually good in this version and she's not just a double crosser who's in love with Deathstroke. That could be interesting if they did that. Comment below, let me know if you think that's actually going to happen. I'm curious to see if you guys think that. But, considering that we are getting some adult themes, could this also mean that we get some NY-17, if you know what I'm talking about, between Terra and Deathstroke? I don't think they're going to go that far, but I definitely do think that, like the animated film Judas Contract, they're definitely going to play that up a lot more. Whereas in the Teen Titans animated series, they didn't. Like, there was no relationship. It was just Terra, she's bad, and she works with Deathstroke. Like, that was it. I think in this version, since they are allowed to be more adult and they can be a little bit more comic book accurate because of that in this instance, I think we're going to see some really creepy kind of old man, young girl kind of relationship thing going on. I mean, it is a little bit weird, but that is how it was in the comics, so it would be comic book accurate to do so, and it would be more adult, which is what they talked about. They're going to make it more adult whilst keeping it true to Young Justice, so yeah, that would be kind of a weird plot line, but at the same time, it would be accurate. So, hey, you never know, right? There could be a lot of other things they do as well. I mean, they could use Terra, maybe just bring in some other Teen Titans, like I said, Starfire, Raven. It'd certainly be a pretty positive way to show off the Teen Titans, because at this point, animation-wise, and really, they just don't have a lot of representation. So I feel like, to me, while it would be awesome to get a Season 6 of Teen Titans, if we're not going to get it, throw them in Young Justice, because Young Justice basically is the new Teen Titans of this generation. It's a more serious version, granted, but I don't know. Just seeing all the awesome characters together, to me, is worth it. A lot of fun. So, what are your guys' hopes and thoughts for Terra? Because there's definitely a lot that could be done with this character, and because of her storyline and because of how everything was, maybe, now this is a very far-fetched sort of possibility, but you guys remember at the end of the Teen Titans animated series, Terra came back, right? So she came back and then they did absolutely nothing with it. Could it be possible? Could it be possible that they take that plot line and they use it in Young Justice at some point? Because if you guys know anything about Terra, she dies. She dies because she gets betrayed and then she goes crazy and she basically loses her mind and then she kills herself, right? That's kind of her plot line, more or less. I mean, that's just kind of how it is, right? I don't know if they're going to do that with Young Justice. They could do a complete 180. They could change it a million different ways, which I'm actually kind of for. Because if you're a big DC guy or just a comic book guy in general, and you see the same plot lines over and over and over, like, I don't know. Like, if they... There's certain things that they do, like, repeatedly in different versions of animation and movies and stuff like that. Like, they'll reuse the same popular storylines, but if they don't change them, it's like, okay, this is redundant. With this, at this point, I feel like Terra is kind of in that same boat, because we've seen her storyline done a lot. We've seen it in the comics, we've seen it in the animated series, we've seen it in the movie. Like, at this point, they've done that story to death. Like, the betrayal of the Titans. Oh my goodness, what's going to happen? Now, with the Young Justice team, again, there are some different aspects. We've got the light. Deathstroke works with the light. He is the new sports master. So, in that regard, it would be different. Now, I don't know why the light would trust Terra necessarily, but I guess she is kind of like a henchman at really, if you look at it that way. Because Deathstroke is like their hired gun or whatever. So, his hired gun would be basically like a henchman. So, I don't know. Maybe they see Terra that way. But there's certainly a lot of expectations when you bring in a character like that, and I trust the Young Justice team. They always do a good job with the characters. So, what I think would be really cool is if you guys would just leave your speculation down below, because unfortunately, the nature of Young Justice is we just really don't know anything about this series at all as far as the season's concerned. So, we basically just have to spin our wheels and think, what could happen? So yeah, if you guys could leave your thoughts down below, That would be awesome. Anyway, that's all I have for now. Catch you guys later.